Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Klansman come to court. With the slim success that the Jamaican authorities have scored over the last 3 years with the prosecution of 4 criminal organizations, much rides on the ability of the much-touted anti-gang legislation to secure conviction against 33 alleged members of the ruthless Klansman gang. The alleged gangsters include Andre Blackman Bryan, the reputed leader of the One Don Gang, a splinter of the St. Catherine North-based Klansman, are all expected to begin their trial today in the Home Circuit Court. The trial, which is believed to be the largest anti-gang trial in the English-speaking country, will see the 32 men and 1 woman being tried under the Criminal Justice Suppress of Criminal Organizations Act 2014, better known as the anti-gang legislation, and on an indictment with 25 counts for allegedly being part of a criminal organization in a judge-alone trial. The legislation came to the fore in 2014 as a major crime-fighting tool which was significantly helped to dismantle the country's criminal empires and, by extension, helped to reduce the murder rate, which police have primarily attributed to marauding gangs. But the laws had more failures than successes, as all the members of the Dexter Street, Burger Gully and King Valley gangs prosecuted under the Anti-Gang Act were freed, while 15 of 24 defendants arrested in the Ocean Wilson case were also acquitted. Since then, many stakeholders in the judiciary, the political, and the law enforcement, including defense counsel, have highlighted a number of shortcomings, including lack of provision for search warrants, which they believe have compromised the viability of the Act. Those matters are expected to be addressed in a review of the legislation. Noted defense lawyer Peter Champney QC, who was involved in 2 of the referred gang trials, believes that there is too much dependence on the evidence of the main witness in these cases. The challenge I find with these cases is that a heavy reliance is often placed on a particular individual who, for all intents and purposes, is a self-confessed criminal, and in that regard, there is always a deficiency in terms of the starting point for the prosecution, said the criminal defense lawyer. Having said that, it is hoped that going forward, prosecutions of this nature would factor another witness who is able to corroborate what is said by these self-confessed criminals. Peter argued that lawmakers should expeditiously amend the current anti-gang legislation to address the shortcomings of search warrants and the reception of electronic evidence into trial. He also hopes that prosecutors and investigators have learned from the experiences and judgments of the previous anti-gang trials. Like the rest of Jamaica, and as someone who is part of the legal system, it will particularly be interesting for me because I would be curious to see how, if any at all, the approach will be different from other past cases that have been tried in the courts. And it makes good for precedents to follow, Peter stated. Director of Public Prosecution Paula Llewellyn declined substantive comments on the case. All I can tell you is that the Crown is ready, she quitted repeatedly on Sunday. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey, who captains the crime portfolio, also declined to speak in details on the constable's expectation heading into the trial or whether investigators, who were more confident of their chances in securing conviction of all defendants this time around. We do our work and we hope for the best, he said, adding that any shortcoming in the act was a matter of the judiciary. Bailey indicated that the police would be ramping up security for the witnesses and court staff, including prosecutors and judges. The precincts of the court will be heavily manned, he said. We will be putting in the appropriate security measures to ensure that the trial is undisrupted, he said. As part of the police security details, the intersection of King and Tower Street, as well as King and Barry Street, will be closed today between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. The police raised the threat level on Sunday for its members in the St. Catherine North Division, who have arrested and charged the alleged gang members and whose operatives were said to be planning attack on lawmen in the division. Along with the 33 defendants, about 40 lawyers, 4 prosecutors, and 43 witnesses will be involved in the trial, which will be conducted in 2 courtrooms with the use of technology. The 33 defendants were among 53 alleged gang members who were captured in different police operations. However, 20 of them were later freed by the court after prosecutors found that they did not have sufficient evidence against them to mount a successful case. The One Don gang reportedly emerged after the Klansman gang split during an internal power struggle between the reputed leader of the Klansman, Trishamila, and Brian, who was allegedly one of his top lieutenants. Control of the lucrative extortion racket, which reported rakes of 1.5 million daily, was said by the police to have been at the heart of the conflict that for years have been a major factor fueling the high incidence of crime in the parish. According to police statistics, Jamaica has 379 gangs, of which 262 are considered active. They accounted for 802 or 61% of the country's murders in 2020.
It come like we abandoned and things abandoned right here.
Ninetenclarendon residents see a bleak future for the community. Nestled in the northern area of Clarendon is the sleepy community of Ninetern. There is a cluster of shops, some which look nothing more than huts and other built a bit more grand. Again, all the shops share a similarity. They struggle to sell, restock, and make a comfortable living. Still, the owners try as they battle the reality that some customers will trust and settle their debts, while others develop amnesia soon after taking the goods on credit.
There is no work is there for the young people. So it's only a little farming and we're not getting anything. The COVID come in, it rather worse. It rather worse. Nothing working for we. No plan we have cannot work. You go market, nobody now buy the load more than so if you go market. Then go market, then not sell. So everything is very serious to the COVID. You got our family are foreign, we're not getting anything in time. So we'll be able to stay hungry if we can, do little financial for ourselves, just very little, you know. It come that the little shot them in the places now. When we have little money, we go there and we buy. When we money kind of run out, we can be able to get little trust, but we have to try to find it back to keep up the shop, that they can buy the things them to come back. So it's very hard on us. It's a big deal for the community because there are no work more than so.
You know, some of the people, they need of the things. And we would have sympathized and to trust them. But after them turn out, them don't turn back, them don't remember that you have to go to Frankfield or Kingston or Mapen. And when you go, you have to buy your things cash, you cannot trust it. And then when we come now, they come to trust it and then don't pay we.
So how does that affect your business?
Throw it out. Run right out of line. Right out of line. Sometimes 3 months, 4 months. And when you ask for it now,
look back for you.
then gone on in that shop.
Enough of them would have want to work, but they don't have the job for play slow and more time. A dozen of them there, 2 dozen and more time, all 5 of them on their work. But them not have no work to go.
Like when building houses.
Yeah, compulsion, more time than we get to the work.
You then ask you if you have any work with them.
They have some special man with them give them work.
Oh, you mean like when they're constructing houses?
But everybody get work, see me. More time they have them, like if 4 man have been man them they work with, so you don't get to carry out no others man. So that's compulsory, a man to get to the work.
What is the education level of the youths in this community?
Well, most of them, 1 and 2 of them well qualified, but some of them not have no skill. Because some of them go to school but they don't finish nothing more, so they just jam. Because them not go on a trade to finish up. And then have the whole work for more farming that day, so and you see the farming now most like old man them go over and the east.
Whole of people.
So young people don't farm in this
No,
community?
yeah, but not all of them. And for them not have the land neither, you know.
When it comes to young people, what would you want to see in this community? Is it that they don't want help or?
Them want help,
They
man.
need
They
help,
want
man,
help,
but
man.
you know, the help what them want might be, it is not here.
Yeah.
It's a specialized in things. It's like what they want, what the opportunity is not here.
No, yeah. So some of them would have want to do certain work too and they not do it.
And they're not doing
Why them
those
just see
type
say that they work in a qualified.
Yes. And the type of work where them want
You know the
might be it is not here.
True.
So you said Nineturn need more development where the youths are
Exactly.
concerned.
Yes.
Exactly, that's what I said.
Yes, Mummy.
Develop.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
If I
like that.
want like a little factory or one little place where they can go and
Yeah, man, if I had 10 of
Like
them, we
a
are
hard
work.
trust.
Yeah, like
Even
a hard
hard
trust.
trust
Right,
come
right,
in.
right.
Yeah, if I had like that.
one little place where they can come and do little morning work from morning to 12 and 12 to night. You understand?
Yeah, man, private.
Keep themselves going. Shift on and shift off. Yes,
So there's no development in Nineturn.
No,
nothing.
no, there.
Oh God. Sometimes
It is very
me
slow.
want to cry. Nothing.
No,
Just
I
dry same way.
We come like we abandon and things abandoned right here.
So would you say the population going down, people leaving the community?
Yeah,
Yes,
some of them.
I'm dead. When you dead, you leave too, you know.
And for them, we have money.
Enough of the people that we could.
Enough who has the money come mandibule and different places.
Buy here now, sell the land them niggas, sir. They have to go out back.
And then now sell them land where them got here more than. So if you give it up,
Yes,
let other people come and buy.
that carry down.
You understand?
If they need to sell the whole spot, by the roadside.
Let it and sell it to people and let other people come in and,
Yes.
you know,
But
do things like...
You find out that the people them go out.
Yeah, Friday night,
Like Mandeville and all them places there and go buy them house and them.
So Nineturn looking ahead couple years from now is in danger of the community actually dwindling to the population because there's no job here and it's hard to survive even running a shop. And if people trusting and not paying, you don't see a good future for Nineturn.
No, I don't see a good future for Nineturn in that way.
Brandon Hill residents beg for attention. Residents of Brandon Hill are fed up with the years of neglect being meted out when it comes onto their community. As they say, it is time attention is paid to the back roads there.
Well on the road, and me a beg you no please bigger heads. We want the road. Road bad no hell, car them can't manage the road. A pay a hole that the taxi go up the hill there. So if we don't have that to go up the hill, we can't reach home. We have to go all around Monkey Corner, go around so and come back around. A lot of fear.
Could you tell me an average?
I don't know, one bag of road from here to go and kill it. A few chain of road and couple miles of road. And you know how long that road no fix, mama? Millions a year from me a boy.
So the road is
I tell me how old man you know.
The road is where you turn at the bridge there?
Right there, so. When you turn, right on the right and go so.
Up there is a farming community, right from Penance go to Brandon Hill, Kearney's Ridge, go back to Kelly same way. So most time the people I go to market, they don't have no ride car. The vehicle not the one go up there. You understand? So the road need to repair.
The only alternative when that the road can go up is to drive on the road go so. Go kill it, go haul back round so and come back round.
No road to Morgan's Pass.
No road to Morgan's Pass go so.
Taxi fare, how much that cost you?
Right now the taxi man am charge me $300 from here so to go by hill.
And if
If
the road was fixed, how much would it be?
If your road was fixed, then would take maybe $200 or $150. Them the usual pay. But since the road mash up now, we have to pay more fare. It must affect business. It must affect business. You see? Because the motor then we are transporting goods to go up the hill. That's not normal. Sometimes they don't want to go. And when they do come, you have to pay an X amount of money for your goods. And the shopkeeper have to sell with another X amount. You see what I say? It's joke business. I don't put in flat and me live. But for my family, they up there. So when me have to go up there, I look at fret when me turn up on the hill there. When me turn up,
terms of sickness or...
terms of sickness and nothing, your dog name your supper in the night. Believe you me. Dog name your supper can nothing if you come down here to the hospital. All I call about them every Jesus thing full up. Road the water, walk pants, so you must know, and a hill. A pay a hole. Yeah, pay a hole. Ah man, serious thing man, me don't know what to fix. Me don't mind if you could have fixed tomorrow morning.
Yeah, the road want wall and them something there. And road want clean up, tree want cut down and them something the same way. Yeah man. So the road need to maintain because the road, we don't have no road up there. become like a gully coast.
Well on the road. And me a beg you please bigger heads. We want the road.
Yeah, man, I tweet a lot of
If
man.
we
We
don't
don't
get
no
it,
road at Brandon Hill.
cause
No
if we
road.
not, may I come, my boss?
No road
Cause
we don't have
if we not get a road, me no
No
know. We
road.
got a lot of dead people.
Nobody not turn up, nobody not turn, nobody not pay attention to around that side.
Sometimes me hear them say that sometimes man drive around can look, but drive can look and nothing done, it don't make no sense.
Lockdown measures don't work, says Dennis Chong. Even before Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced relaxed COVID-19 measures on Wednesday, popular social commentator Dennis Chong reiterated his position against lockdowns aimed at curtailing the virus. They do not work, he said. The measures cannot work. It's not possible for the measures to work, Chong stated emphatically. Chong, a chartered accountant who sits on several state boards, pointed out that in every other country where lockdowns have been implemented, once they open up, they are confronted with a rise in infections because it's a virus. Secondly, if the incubation period is 5 to 12 days, how does a 3-day lockdown help you? He asked rhetorically before answering his own question. It doesn't help you. Chong acknowledged that a minimum lockdown of 2 weeks would be needed to defeat the virus, but conceded that the country cannot afford that. He pointed to the country of Sweden, which avoided a lockdown, and also conceded that they had a lot of deaths on the onset of the virus towards the end of 2019 and early 2020. But they are back to normal now, despite the mistakes they made at the start in not protecting their nursing homes, where people are more vulnerable, Chong argued. Chong also pointed out to Australia, which he described as having a huge lockdown, but which was hit with a surge in new infections once the authorities took steps to reopen the country. The only two long-term solutions are natural immunity, having contracted the virus and recovered, and vaccine immunity. In the interim, until those two things are achieved, what we need is to have a strong enforcement of the existing protocols, he stated. He argued further that the high daily positivity rate hovering at just under 40% on average, a lockdown will not help Jamaica at this time. But he conceded that the biggest impact of the lockdown is on the economy. He also argued that the 4 weeks after the government implemented 4 sets of 3.5 days of lockdowns, which ran from 6 p.m. Saturday until 5 a.m. each Wednesday, hospitalizations were in the region of 500 for COVID-19 patients. Today, after 4 weeks, we have hospitalization of more than 800, and we have positivity rate above 40% on some days. And Chong said lockdown could prove to be counterproductive in another way, as people usually rush together in droves to conduct business at the different establishments once they are open, including banks, pharmacies, and supermarkets, on the day when they were allowed to move. He noted that individuals often ignore social distancing requirements, thus potentially contributing to the spread of the virus. You have a 3-day week and 4 days of economic activity, with curfews already in place, nightly restriction hours for business, so you're putting more and more people in less space. If you are asking people to stay home for 3 days, people who don't have the income to buy long term, you are asking them at the start of each 3-day lockdown period to go where everybody crowded up to stock up on supplies, said Chong. The government has since abolished the 3.5-day lockdown period and relaxed the night curfew hours as of Saturday, September 18. The night curfew now runs from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. Monday to Friday and from 6 p.m. Saturday until Monday morning, with Sunday being a no-movement day. The measures will remain in effect until October 28. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.